This is HSK9, Radio Thailand World Service, broadcasting from Bangkok for listeners in Asia and the Pacific, the Middle East and Africa, Europe and America. It is now time for our broadcast in English for listeners in Europe.
Live from the Public Relations Department of the Royal Thai Government, this is Radio Thailand News.
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
This is Radio Thailand's News Hour. With me, กระจ่างวิทย์ .j.
And with me นวรัตน์วงศ์อารยะ
Starting off our national news. The government will consider easing restrictions aimed at limiting the spread of COVID-19 for the upcoming Songkran holiday. Meanwhile, the leader of the Palang Pracharat Party will soon submit a list of post candidates for the upcoming cabinet reshuffle.
In the Global Digest, conservationists say an endangered turtle bred in captivity has laid eggs for the first time in Cambodia.
And on Tech Today, Boeing raises concerns over the design of arch-rival Airbus's newest narrow-body jets, the A321XLR, citing the fire risks.
We will now give you the details on those headlines and many more.
National News.
In national news, leader of the Palang Pracharat Party, General Prawit Wongsuwan, is expected to submit for consideration a list of ministerial candidates for the upcoming cabinet reshuffle to Prime Minister and Defense Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha. The Prime Minister said he will consider the candidates closely and respects the party's rules and regulations, adding that he had no issues and urged all sides to wait patiently. Meanwhile, Secretary of the Palang Pracharat Party, Anucha Nakasai, said the party initially discussed 2 vacant posts, with no ministers expected to be removed from the cabinet. Concerning reports that Anucha himself will take up the post of the Digital Economy and Society Minister, he reiterated that the decision ultimately rests with the Prime Minister. An executive member of Palang Pracharat, Etiphon Kunploom, has said candidates for the 2 vacant ministerial positions must be from the ruling Palang Pracharat Party, with senior members to consider making changes if needed.
12 ministries and the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, have signed an agreement to launch a collective campaign promoting income among vulnerable groups, while also working to steer the country out of the middle-income trap. At the signing ceremony, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha delivered a keynote speech in which he has emphasized the government's commitment to helping all groups of people without leaving anyone behind. The Prime Minister has urged all ministries to help vulnerable people gain access to government projects and services and to plan expenditures in ways that will best benefit the people. He noted, however, that this process must be gradually driven forward, adding that everything is now on track with the timeline set according to the national strategy. The Prime Minister also touched on the establishment of a poverty elimination and development center based on the sufficiency economy philosophy. The organization would operate as a central coordinator between all ministries tasked with addressing poverty and navigating Thailand out of the middle-income trap.
The government has said it will consider easing restrictions aimed at limiting the spread of COVID-19 for the upcoming Songkran holiday, noting that there would be measures in place to manage the situation in the event of another outbreak. Prime Minister and Defense Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha said relevant agencies are looking into the matter, which will soon be tabled at the General CCSA meeting. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is also studying the possibility of implementing a vaccine passports, which will provide access for people who have been vaccinated, allowing them to travel abroad more conveniently. The Prime Minister also said those who have been vaccinated for COVID-19 as part of the first batch of injections experience minimal, if any, side effects, such as sore arms, headaches, and fever. However, he said the government must work to ensure that vaccines will be widely available nationwide. The first doses are intended for medical personnel, frontline workers, military and police officers at screening points, and volunteers. More vaccine doses are due to gradually arrive in the kingdom before being distributed to tourist destinations. The government has meanwhile welcomed a private sector plan to import more vaccines.
Director General of the Department of Disease Control, Dr. Opat Kankawinpong, has commented on the case of a 28-year-old female medical staffer who developed an allergic reaction after being vaccinated for COVID-19. Dr. Opat said the staffer, who works at Samut Sakhon Hospital, suffered nausea, dizziness, and vomiting 4 to 5 hours after she returned home. Diagnostic tests revealed that she has low blood pressure and was allergic to penicillin. Her condition improved after she was injected with adrenaline. Experts are reviewing whether the symptoms were linked with the vaccine, but stressed that monitoring and maintaining health records were key to the program. Officials report that about 7,300 people in 13 prioritized provinces have been vaccinated at the time of this report. Of these, 20 have suffered undesirable reactions, mostly fatigue, followed by muscle aches and nausea.
An Education Quality Assurance Agency has piloted a new online method of assessing schools in an effort to provide greater convenience and reduce physical contact in line with COVID-19 prevention measures. The Office of National Education Standards and Quality Assessments has implemented the system at St. Francis Xavier Convent School in Bangkok, where applications and video conferences replace actual school visits by inspectors. With these implementations, assessments can be made in half a day compared to a conventional school visits, which usually takes an entire day. The online assessment also enables the agency to gather all necessary information. According to the office, the assessment only ensures that schools actually meet their internal quality assurance criteria without deciding on a school's ranking. The agency has set a target for making non-formal education program assessments across at least 17,000 schools using the new online method, with some 10,000 schools already registered. And those were our national stories. Up next in Global News.